Within his last year of high school, my dad stepped into the guidance counselor's office, and unfortunately his guidance counselor told him that he'd never be able to go to college, that he would never be able to succeed with the amount of effort that he was putting into his classwork. This devastated my father, and he knew that he wanted to be better, and he knew he could be better. So from that point on, my father dedicated that he would do better in college and in the rest of his life than what he was told he would put out. You know, we have those people in our community that work the hardest, that we see the fruits of their labors, and we should give credit where credit is due. That's clearly evident. You know, we look at my father's life, we look at example of other people's lives and the work that they put in, and we want to have the same success, that we look at the work they've put in, and we want to reap the same things in our lives. We want to strive for excellence as much as they are. You see, I've had the opportunity of being my father's son, of growing up and of seeing his success within the workplace as well as within our community. Also, I've had the opportunity of going to college and seeing my own success and getting to compare that between my success and my father's success. Overall, I think that's why my dad deserves reward for excellence, for his work and his time spent in college, his work in the workplace, and his work within our community. Overall, I think that's why my father deserves award for excellence, for the amount of work he has put in and how excellent he's been as a man of God. Looking first at his time in college, my dad started off with the mentality that he would not fail, that he would put in all the work that he could to succeed. This was not met without help from a guidance counselor, someone who was there to help my father go through the classes and figure out the necessary material he needed to succeed. Also didn't happen without the help from my mother. My dad met my mom. My mom was really there to help my dad get through classes and figure out where he was going. So my mother was a huge part of my dad's success. He also graduated at the top of his program. He received high praise from his accounting professors as well as his peers, and he did excellent on his final exams. So from that point on, my dad showed that he was different than he was in high school, and he was capable of success. And that led my father into the workplace. You see, my dad had a boss that asked him to fudge some numbers, a boss that asked him to do something against his moral compass. And my dad, as a believer, felt that it was important that he tell the necessary authorities. And so my dad received high praise from his corporate leaders and from those who knew my dad's moral compass. He also was a relentless salesman. My dad was a really good communicator. He was very expressive and very friendly overall. And that really showed how he would not waver under stress, that he would not waver when he met opposition. My dad was very kind and was very, very passionate for the work that he put in. Looking forward away from his time in the workplace, my dad is also a really great member of our community and has given multiple examples of excellence. He's a supportive member of our church. He's on the member of the board. He has helped with multiple decisions within our church and has helped lead the church in positive directions and decisions. He's also a youth worker. So on Wednesday nights, he helps the youth pastor and his students, and he has a group of high school students that he's worked with specifically. And that's just really showed my dad's character and my dad's excellence within our church. He's also a supportive member of our community and community events. So for instance, he's sponsored multiple school events like basketball games, football games, but he's also been there for local festivals like car shows or the fair. My dad's just a big member of our community. Overall, I think that's why my dad deserves this reward for excellence, because he exhibited that excellence in both in his college experience, his workplace experience, and in his efforts in the community. Like I said before, people who work the hardest deserve the hardest reward, the best reward. And I think that's why my dad deserves this reward for excellence. We all want to see excellence in our own lives, and we all want to strive for success. And my dad is an example of that success, an example of what we want in our own lives. And that's why I think my dad deserves this award for excellence, for the work he has put in his life. Thank you so much for listening.